Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of NASCAR Heat 5 on the channel today. It is playoff time for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. It is the round of 12, and it is the opening race of the Xfinity Series playoffs, and it comes in the Firecracker 250 at Daytona International Speedway. We'll see if one of the 12 playoff drivers can get a win tonight to advance themselves into the round of 8. Should be a lot of fun. This is our 5th super speedway race of this NASCAR Xfinity Series season and the 3rd at Daytona. As we'll take ourselves through the playoff field just before the start of the race today. But first, we will qualify for this one. Quick qualifying here at Daytona. Kyle Busch making his way onto the racetrack. Expected to qualify near the back of the field here in this one. He's had problems with qualifying over the last couple of races. Barely winning the regular season championship over Austin Cindric by just 5 points at the end of the race last night at Richmond. R6, welcome to the stream. Black Ace Angel called 88, welcome to the stream also. Pretty short race tonight, just 250 miles around this 2.5 mile super speedway. Just 100 laps set for tonight's race. Hopefully you guys can all stay tuned throughout the course of this one. Busch starting his one and only lap here in qualifying now. Going to use the controller for tonight's race as well. No doubleheader tonight. Next time we do stream the Xfinity Series, we will have a double header. Whether that would be tomorrow or Friday, I'm not entirely sure. I'll get hard to work on the Thunder 04 as far as trying to see if I can stream that tomorrow. If I can, I will. So that will decide whether or not we do NASCAR Heat 5 tomorrow or Friday with the doubleheader for the Xfinity Series. 47.962 is the lap in qualifying for Busch. He qualifies 29th for tonight's race. It's a little bit better than what he did at Richmond. Brandon Brown will be on the pole. Jeremy Clements will be starting second here in this one. And the first playoff driver is Justin Allgaier, who starts 5th in this race here tonight as well. Indeed, definitely ready for Bristol this Saturday, my favorite racetrack. I was there for the All-Star race earlier this season, but that should be a fun one. Well, we got business to deal with here tonight as far as the playoffs are indicated. So we'll quickly now take a rundown and take a look at who are your 12 playoff drivers for the NASCAR Xfinity Series as we get set to go here in this one. The regular season champion with the #1 seed, it is Kyle Busch in the number 54 car coming into this one tonight. Kyle won the regular season title over Austin Cindric by just 5 points to get those extra 15 playoff points last night. It was a heck of a battle between the two all season. It'll be fun to watch both of them going through. And as just mentioned, Austin Cindric second in the regular season standings. Austin Cindric will be the number 2 seed with the second most wins on the year with 3 wins on the season. He comes in with 24 playoff points in total. Definitely Kyle Busch and Cindric are the 2 favorites for the title entering this playoffs. Michael Annett finished 3rd in the regular season point standings, virtually all alone. A quiet but good season for Michael Annett. He did have a win on the season, got robbed of a win late last night by a certain driver on a photo finish by just 3/1000ths of a second. But nonetheless, one win for Michael Annett. He has 13 playoff points to start this postseason. The number 4 seed is going to be the guy that beat him out last night to get his first win of the season. That is Chase Briscoe. Briscoe, with 1 win on the year, has 10 playoff points, coming in as the number 4 seed for the playoffs. He was a winner last night by just 3/1000ths of a second. Brandon Jones will be the number 5 seed here in this one. No wins on the season for him. The 6th seed also with no wins will be Ryan Sieg, also with no wins on the season. And the number 7 seed, it is going to be Harrison Burton. Justin Allgaier had a win earlier this year back at Phoenix. He will be the number 8 seed. The number 9 seed is going to be Alex Labbe, who also had a win at Pocono. That is why he is in the playoffs. The number 10 seed will be Daniel Hemrick. His lone win came at Road America. Anthony Alfredo will be the number 11 seed for the playoffs here, as he got in virtue to a win at Fontana, also a photo finish earlier this season. And last but not least, the final driver to point his way into the playoffs and getting in last night on points was Justin Haley. Also, of course, no wins on the season for Haley, but he will be the 12th and final playoff driver. So that is your 12 playoff drivers for the field as we head into Daytona tonight. Amari P, Joshua White, Tyler Burbeck, also welcome to the stream. And as we get going here in this one, again, Brandon Brown, non-playoff driver on the pole tonight. Brandon Jones looking like he might have a fast car. He had one of the faster cars last time we were at Daytona. Unfortunately for Noah Gragson, it looks like he is going to be starting at the back of the field. Gragson, one of the stronger cars that missed the playoffs, unfortunately. So we'll have to see how that is going to go for him here in this one. The green flag is in the air, and we are underway here at Daytona. Playoff racing for the Xfinity Series. A little bit of a tire spin there by Busch. Made slight contact with Chad Fincham on the initial start. 100 laps to decide the winner in the race tonight. This race is going to fly on by. Oh, look at the run. Kyle Busch is getting up the middle, off the start, right to the back bumper of the 90 of Cesar Vaccarella. And now gets a push from behind there from Jeffrey Earnhardt, I believe. He's going to jump to the bottom. The 20 of Harrison Burton checked up behind. And actually, Earnhardt was able to get to the bottom as well in front of Harrison Burton. Definitely going to have to avoid the big one if it does so happen tonight. Busch did win the last super speedway race at Talladega. Andrew Hollenbach, welcome to the stream. Doing pretty good here today. Oh boy. A little too aggressive with the side draft that time for Vaccarella. Ross Chastain, another one of those stronger drivers there for Colleague Racing, who also missed the playoffs. So, a couple strong cars. A few of them actually between Riley Herbst, Ross Chastain, and Noah Gragson. They all missed the postseason. We come into the playoffs with 15 wins on the year there, Amari. With quite a few playoff points entering this opening round, but you never know what happens. Especially with the playoff opener being here at Daytona. The next two races of the round of 12 will be Kansas, and then we go back road course racing for the final time this season at Mid-Ohio. Remember, Busch DNF'd at Mid-Ohio earlier this year, one of his only 2 DNFs on the season. Almost costing him the regular season title if it wasn't for him battling hard to get back into it within those last 2 races of the regular season. Busch is moving through the field. He is already up to 15th. Now has Matt Mills all over his back bumper, giving him a shot off in turn 2. In the sucker hole up there in the middle is Justin Allgaier moving backwards. Look at the run Busch had. Looking into turn number 3, they're 4 wide. Oh no, Busch gets loose. Busch is drifting, and he saves it. Oh my goodness, what a save by Kyle Busch. He got loose going 4 wide into turn 3, was drifting sideways, comes back across the racetrack, and we stay green. Oh my goodness. If that doesn't make your heart skip a beat if you're a Kyle Busch fan, I don't know what will. Oh my goodness. To make that save on the apron, back across the center of the racetrack. I mean, that car just turned dead left going into turn 3 when they were 4 wide. That would have been a terrible start to the postseason for Busch, and now he gets shoved into the wall by Chastain, and around they go! In the air goes Busch! Over and over and over and down through the tri-oval. Caution! Caution on the racetrack for the first time today. We went from almost having the big one a lap ago to having it the lap later. Kyle Busch, end over end off of turn 4 to bring out the first caution of the day, and the big one already at lap 6 at Daytona. He got turned around backwards by Chastain after getting into the wall, kind of got hooked a little bit there, and Eric got caught up underneath the car. He's going to pit for 4 tires while he's at the back of the pack. He's got a decent amount of damage, obviously, to the race car, but he is somehow still in this thing. But over 5 seconds of damage, and heavy damage, especially to the right side of the race car. And Busch is already in a hole early on, but he is very fortunate to still be running in this race. Things could not have started off here in the playoffs any worse for Kyle Busch than what it has tonight. And now the inside just checks up on the initial restart. And Busch has to be careful here with his damaged car. He's got nobody behind him, and he might lose the draft. And talk about things getting from bad to worse for Kyle Busch. He is going to lose the draft here all of a sudden. With a damaged car, the checkup in turns 1 and 2 on the restart, and nobody behind him to help him out. And with that 8 seconds of damage again, yes, we could not repair the damage under the 5-second damage clock, so fresh tires not making a difference here either for Kyle Busch. It helps for handling purposes when it comes to Daytona and Talladega and tires, but not so much the actual speed of the race car. Ray Howard, welcome to the stream. A wild one early on in Daytona. Playoff points definitely coming into fruition tonight, that is for sure. And the regular season championship definitely helps a lot for Busch. He has a buffer in case this were to happen. And remember the season opener at Daytona, Kyle Busch finished in 35th. Is he going to have one of those kinds of races once again here tonight? He sure hopes not, but I mean, he is definitely lacking speed. Even though he is single car, obviously it's a lot slower than being in the draft as it is, but he is struggling just to break 180 miles an hour. That car is definitely hurting. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time today. Again, that damage doesn't look very visible to the race car, but it is definitely there. Kyle just in hopes of getting a caution and maybe a little pit strategy to get some track position and trying to go from there as far as the race goes here tonight. And not being in the draft, he's just going to lose a ton of time here. This is got to be probably the worst start imaginable for Kyle Busch. And it all started with the poor qualifying effort and starting back in 28th. He was working his way through the traffic, got to about 15th, but remember, He has not qualified well on the super speedways all season long, and we didn't expect him to qualify that great tonight, as he didn't. And him starting back in traffic and not being up at the front of the pack put him in danger of something like that happening. But it's going to take one heck of a comeback for Busch to even be competitive tonight, but don't count him out yet. We still got a long ways to go. If he can get the drafting help, if he can just get in the draft, that will definitely help Busch. Whatever happens here, he needs to stay on the lead lap so he can hopefully get the track position. Worst case scenario, if he goes a lap down, he'd be the only car one lap down. For an Xfinity Series car, it takes anywhere between 45 to 46 seconds in the draft to get around this racetrack at top speed. So Kyle Busch is already about a half a track off the race lead. Ray, we did pit for 4 fresh tires, but then we just lost the draft on the restart. And we can't repair the damage because of the 5-second damage clock. If I have more than 5 seconds of damage, I cannot repair it. I've had those rules since the start of this game, really. Still a long ways to go. So stay tuned for this one, because we've already seen some wild stuff happen in the first handful of laps. The racing's only going to get more aggressive. The problem is, Busch was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, first he made an incredible save at lap 5. Going into turn 3, 4 wide on the bottom. The car turned dead left. A huge loose moment. Somehow saved it. Stayed green, but then a lap later is when he ended up flipping off in turn 4 after getting turned from Chastain. Chastain trying to give him a shot. They were already 3 wide on the outside. After the bump draft, he got in the wall, and it was on from there. Probably going to see Kyle. I mean, he's going to try to block, but they're going to have such a big run on him, not just because of the damage, but just being in the draft, you're already going to be running about 10 miles per hour on average faster than a single car out there. With Busch's damage, it's probably going to be more like 15 miles an hour. So Busch is not really going to have a choice to really block. And again, worst case scenario, he goes a lap down. As long as he gets a caution, he'll get the free pass. Problem is, he'll be restarting at the back again. He's going to have to make a move on a restart to at least get one spot, just enough for one car to line up behind him and keep him in the draft. If he can stay on the lead lap, he may be able to stay out of the pits under another caution. But he's going to need that caution to come out very soon. And I'm talking about the next 3 to 4 laps at the most, and he's going to be in danger of going a lap down. Still 82 laps to go. Only about 20%, almost about 20% of the way home. Can't quite see the leaders yet. Back there. About 38 seconds off the lead. He's still got about 7 or 8 seconds back to the leaders. I should say behind him. Or about 7 or 8 seconds behind Kyle. Yeah, we're definitely not going to block too aggressively. That is for sure. I'll make one move, and if they get around me, they get around me. But even with one move, I mean, they're going to be coming so much faster. Moment of truth if Kyle's going to get a caution or not here. So you can definitely see out of Busch's rearview mirror now as he goes into turn 1. They were right at about the start-finish line through the tri-oval. And he'll probably end up getting caught next lap. I don't think he's going to get caught this lap, but it looks like the next lap. Now, what will the leaders do? Because if they are side by side and they're racing hard up there 2-3 wide for the lead, it's going to be tough by the time they catch him. One of those lines are not going to have anywhere to go, but it looks like they're single file right now for about the first, almost top 10. Top 10 looks like they're about single file. So Busch will get caught this lap if he doesn't get a caution here in the next few seconds, it seems like. And Brandon Brown leads the race after starting on the pole. Tough to tell who he's got behind him. Oh, Busch got loose in the center of 1 and 2, and here comes Brown to the back bumper of Busch, giving him a shot off in turn 2. It is Chase Briscoe in second place, trying to go for back-to-back wins here tonight. And now here comes that lane on the outside, being started there by Jeremy Clements. So Busch barely, and I mean barely, on the lead lap with the leaders right behind him. But Brown, instead of trying to put him a lap down, looks like he's willing to work together with him to keep Brown out in front. Busch might end up holding him up here. It's tough to tell. But Clements trying to work the outside as they are now side by side back there for about second place. So Busch is trying to hold the bottom here. That outside faded pretty quickly through 1 and 2. We'll see if Clements can maybe do some side drafting action. Here comes Briscoe. Briscoe looking to the outside. See if he ducks back in line going into 3 or if he stays high. No, he ducks back in the line. Clements the lead car on the outside again. Justin Haley's up in the top 10. We were talking about a little bit last night, assuming Haley was going to get that last spot in on points, which he did, that he was going to be a threat to possibly win at Daytona. He has great super speedway success. He's won there in the Xfinity and Cup Series for that matter. And he could be a contender for the win to get his first win of the year and propel himself to the round of 8. And he's running top 10 early on. Now with Busch pitting under the last caution, he could also go a little bit longer on fuel than the rest of these guys. But only by about 5 or 6 laps. King, welcome to the stream. Oh, Busch got really loose into turn 3 again there. Honestly, the 68 pushing him behind almost kind of just straightened him back out automatically. Usually that doesn't happen, but in that case it did. Here's Brandon Jones at the front of the field also, by the way. He's in about 4th place, it looks like. And it looks like everybody 2nd through 5th are all in the playoffs right now. Oh, Brandon Brown lets go of Busch. He lets go of him. Maybe he's looking to make a move now. He feels it's time. Brown to the outside. Briscoe to the bottom. Here comes Briscoe to the inside. Once they fanned out there, Busch could not block the run with his damaged car. Oh, LeBay gets tight into turn 3. He makes contact with Busch. Busch down to the bottom now in front of Brandon Jones. LeBay looks high. Maybe not the wisest move, as Busch is going to likely get back underneath him here. No, not quite. Busch just can't muster up the run. He does not have a car capable of doing that. He needs to stay hooked to that double yellow line, and now Jones is going to push him on by. So Briscoe leads at Daytona. Boy, he's really come alive late in the season. Boygson, welcome to the stream. Brandon Jones trying to use Kyle Busch to his benefit here. Both Toyota Supras with some sort of a Joe Gibbs Racing alliance there, so this could work out. "75 laps left." I think Jones looks like he wants to stay together with Kyle Busch. And if Busch can make a run to the inside and Jones follows him, that could be Jones's pathway to getting to the lead. Diamond Jeff, welcome to the stream. Busch is slightly, and I mean slightly, closing in on Briscoe here. Caution. So Busch, caution is out. It looks like everybody's going to keep the track position and stay out of the pits. Kyle will pit for his second set of tires in the early going of the race. He's getting the free pass, might as well top off on fuel while he's at it also. So that is the caution Busch needed to get the free pass. Tommy Joe Martin's brought out that caution, so it looks like he has exited from the race, unfortunately. And the green flag is back in the air again. This time, Busch can't lose the draft. And he's got to be able to pass a car or two on the restart. 70 laps to go, 30 laps down here tonight at Daytona. He's just got to get a car behind him here at least. 3 wide to the bottom into turns 1 and 2. Nor the inside or the outside checked up that time. He got a little loose though, still trying to get up to speed. He just can't quite clear these guys. Busch is trying hard. He does have fresher tires. And he does have one car behind him. It's Jeffrey Earnhardt. Busch back to the inside of the 90 of Vaccarella. Trying to side draft him aggressively to stay to the inside. And actually, that's not Jeffrey Earnhardt. That is Landon Castle. And Castle drops in line behind him on the inside. That's what Busch needed. He's got a huge run off of turn 4 with the push from Castle. So Kyle Busch right back into this thing again after a flip back at lap number 6, which brought out the first yellow of the race in the big one. Ultimately, up to this point, the only big one. Tommy Joe Martin's brought out the single car yellow flag on the last caution laps. A few laps ago. Look at this, he's cracked the top 30 even. Going to the Bristol All-Star, or not All-Star race, but going to the Bristol night race. It's awesome, Jeff. There's Chastain right in front of him, who had turned Busch with the aggressive bump drafting on the outside when they were going 3 wide, middle of the pack. And coincidentally, they find each other nose to tail for position. Ray Howard Broyles, bravo, welcome to the stream. I just shortened it up because it's a long name. I got you. Looks like Chase Briscoe is still leading the field out there. front of the pack. Oh, big bobble in the middle there by Jesse Little. He is still shaking around quite a bit. We're staying pretty content with the inside. Oh, we got a little loose off of turn 4. That 4 car just looks really out of shape. This inside line is moving here in the middle of the pack. Raymond Jones, he was running top 5 at the time of the caution. He's back to 17th after the restart. Oh, Hemrick moves high. Hemrick got tight off of turn 4. Chastain moves under him. Chastain might have loosened him up. I couldn't tell. It didn't look like the rear of the car really shifted. It just kind of looked like the car drove straight up the racetrack off of turn 4. Luckily, there was a hole there. He was able to fill in the void. And I mean, Chastain and Busch are moving through this field. They haven't really locked bumpers at all, but they're following one another. No problem there, Jeff. Thanks for stopping by. And now Busch all over the back bumper of Chastain. Busch gets tight. Busch did not want to move up the track. He got really tight. Oh, Little barely cleared him when he pulled up. Look at the momentum stalling out now as Busch found his way back into line before getting pushed once again by Castle. Remember, Landon Castle restarted back there and actually fell behind Busch, and they followed each other all the way up through the middle of the pack, just inside the top 20 as we run. Blaney seriously get another penalty? What did he get a penalty for? I didn't see anything about that. I don't know why he... Oh, Busch tight off of turn 4 again for the second lap in a row, and he got into the side of the 9 of Noah Gragson. Man, that car just took up straight off the racetrack, and we saw that with Daniel Hemrick a few laps before Busch has done it back-to-back laps now. Man, that just about turned Gragson. Made one heck of a save on the outside there. Called. Come on, man. Giving me a heart attack there. I was going to say, what could he have possibly gotten a penalty for? They're not even to the race weekend yet. Busch down to the inside of Chastain. Oh, man. Busch got tight again there. It kind of worked as a side draft. He kept it clean. That time, Busch looks to the inside of Mills. Can't quite get there. 89 just couldn't quite follow him all the way up to that point. It looks like the top 3 have really broken away. And sure enough, we find Austin Cindric in the top 5. He's going up there. He's up to 4th place, in fact, off of turn 4 this time. Yeah, we still have 8 seconds of damage. We can't repair the damage over the 5-second damage clock. One of my policies. Trying to make it more realistic and harder. There's a specific amount of damage. It's not all going to be repaired 100% of the time, so that is kind of my way of doing it. Plus, it makes it a little more challenging. Forces me to have to race clean. The inside line starting to prevail further and further up through the pack. It looks like the top 7 or 8 cars are up at the front single file. Still double file back where Busch is right now. He's got LeBay to his outside. Just in front of LeBay is Joe Graff Jr. in the 08 car. We've seen up at the front a few times already today, back when Busch was a lap down. Got the trivia question for the night here. If you guys are tuning in still. A little bit of a different kind of trivia question, but it's one that's going to be tough, and I highly doubt we're going to be able to get the right answer here. So, took a little bit of deep diving earlier today to find out this question. The question of the night is, who is the driver who has won the most popular driver awards in the NASCAR Xfinity Series? So hint, or no hint, but again, for the Xfinity Series, who's the driver that has won the most popular driver awards the most times? So that is the question, trivia question for the night. Kind of a tough one. We might get the right answer in the chat. I don't think it's impossible. I'd like to see your guys' answers down below. Give you guys a lap or two to try and figure it out. I'll give you guys the answer. Meanwhile, Busch has gotten into the top 10 for the first time tonight. I pretty much got my strategy figured out for tonight here. Not really a whole lot of strategy from where we're at. We're actually off strategy as it is because all these drivers have not made a pit stop yet today, and you're likely going to see them hit pit road pretty soon here. Andrew Hollenbeck, that answer is correct. The driver who has won the most popular driver awards in the NASCAR Xfinity Series is Elliott Sadler. He has 4. And that is 1 more than the guy who is second closest on that list, which is Brad Keselowski. And in fact, also, only Keselowski and Sadler have won 3 in a row. So yes, Elliott Sadler is the answer to the question. So thought somebody got that right out of the gate like we did. Oh no! Castle gets underneath the Busch. Busch now on the outside has Matt Mills pushing him as the battle for 9th place is on, but not much of a battle. Busch has had an ill handling car since the accident. The big one took place earlier. We saw him flip end over end off of turn 4, and quite honestly, I think that was the first time I've even flipped a car in NASCAR Heat 5. That was definitely wild. It's really spaced out at the front of the field. It's like the top 8 cars in a pack of their own right now, and there's 2 cars at the back trying to make it side by side and get some sort of a run. But again, a large part of running single file right now is still just barely inside the first half of the race. But not only that, these guys have not pit yet today, and they're going to have to come to pit road very soon. We've had a grand total of 6 caution laps. They can only run 42 to 46 laps on fuel, so I mean they're going to have to pit really soon. You factor in those caution laps, they could probably make it to just after halfway at the very most, or right around halfway, but I don't see them going much more than 4 to 6 laps here. I will have to pause the game at halfway here, whether it's under green, yellow, or what it may be. I need to get my phone to a charger so we don't have a disconnection like we did last night. And we're going to see the leaders come to pit road here, so at lap 50 I'm going to pause it for a quick moment. I usually don't do that, and I don't like doing that, but I kind of have to keep the stream alive. Oh, Ray Black Jr. wanted to come to pit road. He checked up, but he had a car in front of him that he about ran over, and then he got pushed from behind by Kyle Busch, and he couldn't slow up. And hopefully Ray Black Jr., for his sake alone, can make it all the way back around into pit road this time. David Starr. Jeremy Clements going to get in, and luckily for the 07 Ray Black Jr., he was able to come to pit road. Still some drivers staying out. Look at Ross Chastain. This is going to be the first lap led of the race by Kyle Busch, and it took until lap 49. Oh no, Chastain just ran into the back of, I believe that was Matt Mills. And they fan out now back there, 3 and 4 wide. And I think Jesse Little just ran it out of fuel now off of turn 2, so he stayed out of lap 2 long. I'm going to pause it right now, and I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. Alright, so we made it. Sorry for that. McMahon, welcome to the stream. So welcome to everybody who is just coming in, by the way. Sorry, I had to get my phone on a charger there before long. Don't like pausing the game. But we'll keep it going, and we should hopefully be good. So I was down to 1%. I had to make it quick. I was trying to make it to lap 50, and I was like, I'm going to be cutting it even closer. So, all right, we're good to the end of the race. And there are going to be some guys going a lap down that Busch can kind of file in line with here and get some sort of drafting help. So that's going to be huge. Plus, these guys obviously are going to have a chance of winning this race pretty much ruined by getting caught a lap down, assuming we stay green for a while here. And here's Harrison Burton and Brandon Jones, two drivers that were actually in the playoffs who Busch is trying to get around, but he can't get around them. Yeah, right in line behind Burton, but he couldn't make the move to the inside like he wanted. Here comes Jeremy Clements from behind. It looks like the last of the cars to hit pit road are pitting now, but those are likely the guys that actually ran it out of fuel, unfortunately, there. So, such as Jesse Little. And caution. At the halfway mark, caution is out, and I believe it's because of Josh Williams, who was stalled on the racetrack. So problems for, it looked like, Josh Williams in the 92 car. Jeremy Clements will get the free pass in 27th. That's going to trap a lot of guys a lap down, and one of which is Justin Allgaier, in the playoffs. So only one playoff driver got caught a lap down there, but it was Allgaier, and that is a tough break for Justin. Well, that is an extremely tough break. But now Kyle Busch can pit. It'll be his third set of tires he will put on the car tonight. So we have 50 laps to go. Felicia, welcome to the stream. Ethan Trendler, welcome to the stream also. So here we go. That was the third caution of the race. Busch can now top off on fuel once again, and he's back on the same strategy as the leaders. Green flag back in the air. So we'll see how this is going to go. We've got 47 laps left, and they are roughly at least 5 laps short on fuel. Busch will have about an extra lap or two of fuel there. So anywhere between 5 to 7 to 5 to 8 laps left of gas for all these guys that they will be short come the end of the race if they don't pit. Busch had a big run on the outside. There's a lot of Toyotas back here in the middle of the pack. Oh man, he went to the outside, about put it in the wall after getting pushed by Michael Annett. There's a big move, by the way, also made by Harrison Burton. Chad Finch was just kind of stalled out in that middle lane as everybody kind of folds around him. Oh, contact in the tri-oval. There's heavy contact. Busch just got really loose in the center of the tri-oval. I don't know how they, A, didn't wreck, and B, they never even lost the draft, luckily. We've seen Busch lose the draft already once tonight. Currently sitting in 25th. That has not been an ideal night for Busch. He's only led a couple laps due to pit strategy, and that's it. Lasagna, welcome to the stream. Also, I'm trying to look at the chat as much as I can. It's kind of pinned back behind me for about the next 5 to 10 minutes. But after this little bit of time passes by and I've got enough battery to for sure get to the end of the race, that I'll unplug it and I'll be able to read your guys' comments again. So sorry if I'm not getting quite to your guys' comments or looking at it. It's a really awkward angle for me to look over my shoulder and kind of stretch back, but 15 people watching currently right now, so thanks for everybody tuning in, by the way. And also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We got daily NASCAR content, such as these full race NASCAR video game live streams. We are in the playoffs, custom schedule season, championship mode. For NASCAR Heat 5, it is the first race of the postseason, so it is the round of 12. Kyle Busch, after winning the regular season title last night at Richmond, comes into Daytona, but he has had not an ideal round or start to the round at all here today. Got caught up in the big one back at lap 6, flipped end over end. We've had damage all the way through the race, but we have limped it around. We were a lap down. We have come back from that. And to be in 25th place after being a lap down in a situation where it looked like we were likely going to be done just a handful of laps in, there's a chance all of a sudden. But the problem is that car just steps out on him, whether it's loose or tight. Time after time, you saw him get into the side of Hemrick there. Accidentally, of course, and that doesn't help. Oh, we got a car smoking through the tri-oval. It's Annett. Annett goes around. Huge playoff implications again. Another playoff driver having an issue. It's Michael Annett, who came in as the 3 seed. It looked like he blew a left rear tire in the center of the tri-oval. So caution is out again. And you're going to see Busch top off on fuel. He's going to take his final set of tires under the yellow. So the green flag is back in the air. I don't know how my battery's still at 1%, to be quite honest. It's kind of scare me. It's going to just like tick to 0. I mean, it's plugged in. It's on a faster charger, so it should make it to the end. So Michael Annett and Kyle Busch both pit there. That is Busch's final stop of the day, unless he has to top off on fuel again, but it is definitely his final set of tires. Tires will make it to the end of the race, if we get to the end of the race, that is. Ooh, huge checkup on the inside line on the restart. Michael Annett just kind of following him all the way through the pack right now. Look at Busch and Annett making moves, bumper to bumper, both in the playoffs, by the way. Annett got robbed of a win late last night. He led all but 27 laps at Richmond, but finished second by a nose. Chase Briscoe got the win. Coincidentally enough, Briscoe has led the most laps tonight. Of course, also in the playoffs for Chase. He would have made it in on points, but that win definitely helped him. Busch does not have a fast car here and is likely going to need help to get the win. But look at them going 3 by 3 up towards the front of the field. So a lot of drivers stayed out thinking they probably couldn't make it on the end, to the end on fuel. But if they stay in the draft long enough, Kyle Busch and Michael Annett might be able to make it to the end. Aiden Rowland, welcome to the stream. Aiden, I know you've been asking about the Instagram account. I do have it. I tried to comment back to you, but I don't think you were able to get the message. But yes, I do have it. So for anybody that wants to follow me on Instagram, just started it up on Saturday. At Keegan Schneider _YT. Oh boy, that is just pushed Busch all the way to the back bumper of Jones. The Busch never got out of the gas there. Oh man, and not only Busch about turned Jones, but Annett about turned Busch himself. I'll put it down in the comment section at the end of the race, and guys, in case you guys can't find it. But again, Keegan Schneider _YT. So you can follow me on Instagram. Looks like Kyle Busch and Michael Annett have, moved each other up there, and somehow, I mean, the 54 of Busch just about took out the 92 of Williams. That was so close. It's been mostly tight, not so much loose with the damage, but I mean, the car does step out from behind us sometimes. Saw it through the tri-oval earlier. But most importantly, before you do anything but following me on Instagram, if you're not already subscribed, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's first and foremost. Helps me out a ton. Of course, as you guys know, most of you guys watching are subscribed. I do know. A lot of you guys are regulars, of course, too, but Annett and Busch can stay locked together. With them having the two freshest tires in the field, they should have the handling. Obviously, Busch's handling is pretty much shot at this point with the damage, but any little bit helps, and the handling is only going to get worse as the race rolls on these older tires. Now, they are roughly just less than 2 laps to the good on fuel, and now look at Annett making a move up the middle all of a sudden. Annett goes up the middle, avoiding Kyle Busch. Busch is moving backwards, trying to side draft the 10 there of Ross Chastain. You can really see the lack of speed coming out of that 54 car. Now he's got a big run on Chastain. Once he was able to punch a hole in the draft there, it worked out a lot better for him. Top two have absolutely pulled away, but now they kind of race each other. Looked like they were side by side off of turn 2 for the lead. That'll definitely slow each other up. Busch to the inside of the 10, man. Remember, those two got together earlier. Chastain is a lap down right now, trying to get in the free pass spot in case we get another caution. Chastain turned Busch in the middle of the pack at lap 6, which turned Busch end over end off of turn 4. That is what set Busch behind the 8 ball with the heavy damage and the lack of track position for the majority of the race. But those two find each other once again here tonight. Oh, we got trouble. Turn 3, car around in the fence. It's Brandon Jones, and he moves down in front of Busch. Busch had nowhere to go. Heavy contact. Another wreck right around Kyle Busch. Very fortunate to still be in the race, but that was definitely added damage. Oh, man. And that is now the 4th caution of the race. There was nowhere for him to go as Jones ricochets off the wall, and that is the 3rd playoff driver to go for a spill here tonight. Definitely the road to 1,000 for the subs. Can't repair the damage, and we are on our final set of tires, and you see Michael Annett and Busch staying out, so at least Busch will get track position out of it. And the uphill climb continues for Kyle Busch. The green flag is back in the air. He has very severe damage on the right side. I'm surprised the car is still running. 29 laps to go here at Daytona. Busch trying to side draft Michael Annett. He needs help from behind. Car from the bottom jumps up now to the middle to upper lane behind him. I believe it is Ray Black Jr., and it is. Oh, contact between Briscoe and Busch. Oh, look at the run Kyle Busch got, and now he gets a shove from Jesse Little all of a sudden. Michael Annett with the lead, Kyle Busch in 2nd. They do have the 2 oldest tires, or sets of oldest tires, compared to anybody else in the field, but here we go. "28 laps left. Jesse Little came close to winning a race, remember, at Homestead this season. Dominated, led over half the race. That was the 2nd to last regular season race. Busch is in about as good a striking distance as he has been all day, but look at Annett kind of holding the bottom. I lost the chat down there. YouTube closed for whatever reason, so I gotta try to open it back up. Again, I don't like pausing it, but give me 1 second off of turn 4 right here. I don't know why it did that to me. Luckily, the stream's still going. I hope. Stream's... Okay, the stream's still going. Thank goodness. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream also. Alright, there we go. We're good. Everything's alright. Look at all the playoff drivers up at the front of the field here. You got Annett and Busch. Briscoe's in 4th. What a race. I mean, this has been wild. Entertaining both for the better and for the good. You got Brandon Jones, it looks like, up here as well in the top 10. Look at the line now shifting to the outside. Now towards that middle lane. Briscoe is coming on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Briscoe. Busch jumps down in front of him. Briscoe with the run. Busch trying to lead the charge on the inside. Annett stays high. Cuts down in front. Busch stays in 2nd, but Michael Annett holds on to the lead. This is unbelievable. How this car is still running, nonetheless, in second place, I have no clue. I mean, this would be a miracle win of all miracle wins here in this one. Sam Stone, welcome to the stream also. Oh, man. Busch gets to the back bumper of Annette, but as soon as he pulls out of line, he just doesn't have the speed in the car to get under him. But if he gets a shot, he's going to go for it. Annette goes high off of turn 4. That might not be the best idea. He can't get back to the bottom. Annette leads the lap, though. 25 laps to go at Daytona. And here comes Kyle Busch. Busch to the lead in front of the pack, but this time it isn't on pit strategy. This is unbelievable. Briscoe lets go of Busch, trying to get a run himself off of turn 2. Annette charging back on the outside. Here comes colleague racing Justin Haley behind him. Haley up the middle. Briscoe on the bottom of the track takes the lead. Busch falls back to third. Briscoe has been the strong car all night. He's led the most laps, and he finds his way back out in front again. Busch just doesn't have the speed those guys do, and now Howard gets a little tight in the center of the corner. He goes high. Briscoe to the lead now, and Busch didn't quite officially take the lead because he did not lead a lap, but he's got a good, fast car of Haley behind him and knows how to get his way around these racetracks. He's been in the top 10 kind of inconsistently tonight, but nevertheless, he finds himself in the top 10 right now. Remember, for all these playoff drivers, a win, and you are in the round of 8. Briscoe's getting way out ahead of the field here, so Busch can muster up some sort of a run, however it may be. Don't count him out. It might take all 23 laps for him to get there, but he's got a chance. Briscoe kind of going high, trying to break as much draft as he can. Knowing Busch is the guy in second, that might actually kind of help Briscoe. Busch might not be able to get as big of a run as, say, if Haley was in second place, having that big of an advantage. Oh, wow, Busch got really tight in 3 and 4. The train of cars kind of follows them. They're 2 by 2 from about 5th on back, but the top 4 or 5 cars, single file. They're not waiting around to make a strike. They're trying to help Kyle Busch, get him up there so Kyle can lead the way. Otherwise, they're going to have to abandon and abort him, but there's still enough laps left. They're willing to stick it out for now. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. What a crazy night it has been for Kyle Busch. Could you imagine a flip and win? The fact that he didn't DNF is one thing. The fact he's got a shot to actually win this thing is another. It has taken literally all race long. That happened back at lap 6. And we have 21 to go this time by. Busch and Annette should be good on fuel to the end after that last caution. They're roughly about 4 to 4.5 laps to the good. Unless we have a couple overtimes, they should make it on fuel. We don't even know if we're going to stay green to the end either. We've had 4 cautions tonight. And it looks like Busch is gaining slight ground on Briscoe here, time after time. He needs Haley to stay behind him. Ideally for Haley, he needs to do what Briscoe did to Busch. Push him up there, hang him out, get to the lead, and hope that Busch finds his way in second place to kind of stall the pack out behind him. Remember, Busch was a lap down earlier after losing the draft with severe damage on the restart after he flipped. Oh, Busch tight. Oh, he gets pushed in the wall by Haley. Huge wreck down the backstretch. Busch going to go low to miss everybody. Huge crash, the big one again at Daytona. Haley just shot Busch into the wall off of turn 2. Busch goes low to avoid the spinning cars down the backstretch. Multiple playoff drivers involved. Michael Annett, Justin Haley, some of them. Looked like Brandon Brown was involved. And the playoff drama unfolds once again. And Busch is still running. He didn't hit the wall too hard, and he was able to luckily not get hit by anybody else either. And he's forced to stay out of the pits because he doesn't have a set of tires left. He did lose a few spots. He'll restart in 5th. Annett holds his spot also, it looks like. And the green flag again is back in the air. After the 5th caution of the race now. 17 laps to go for Briscoe as he leads the field of the green. 3 playoff drivers restart on the inside. Justin Haley's got a lot of damage to his car. He's trying to stay out to keep the track position. He doesn't know what's going to happen to the end of the race either. Oh, that inside line really took off compared to the outside through 1 and 2. On that indicator on the upper left-hand corner of the screen, it is blinking red for Busch's car with the damage he's got. David Starr locks bumpers down the back straightaways. Busch falls back to 6th. Briscoe holds on to the lead. Annett looks like he's about to lose 2nd to Jeremy Clements. Busch trying to just make sure the top 5 doesn't get away, so he's still got a shot of winning this thing. Yeah, Busch got tight off of turn 2, but then Haley just couldn't get off of him and kept pushing him. And you see the damage on Haley and Annett's car. That's got to hinder their progress likely too. There are a few wrecked race cars at the front of the field. We know Brown got a huge portion of that also. He's currently in 4th. A wreck fest of a night. Briscoe still with the lead, but he better hang on because that 51 of Clements looks fast all of a sudden. And he's trying to get up there himself. Haley still on the top. He better move down in front of Busch, or he's in danger of losing some spots. David Starr pushes Kyle Busch to the inside. Look at the left front tire on Haley's car. It isn't even lined up right. That's how damaged he is. The steering column has got to be messed up in that race car. Busch is up to 5th nonetheless. Back in the top 5 again. Top 4 single file, quite a ways out ahead of Busch. They got about 4 or 5 car lengths on him at least off of turn 2, but if they fan out like they are down the back straightaway, that could help. Clements wants to make a move, but Annett not willing to follow him quite yet. Still a little too early for him, it looks like. They'll have 14 laps to go. This time by Briscoe on the bottom as they all kind of hang him out to the outside all of a sudden. And now Annett will make the move to the bottom, hanging the 51 of Clements out to dry, so they're getting a little bit racy up there. Looks like Chad Pincham's got heavy damage to that 13 car as well. Anthony Alfredo in the top 10. He's got heavy damage. He's a playoff driver. Well, everybody taking that middle to upper lane now, so the lanes have changed as Briscoe tries to protect from the lead. And that's getting runs on him. And if he gets a big enough of a run, he might be able to make a charge for the lead. I think going to the outside is kind of helping the handling of Busch's car. He can't lead a pack up there with how slow his car is, but he can ride in line up there, that is for sure. Trying to get David Starr to follow him there, but he couldn't quite do it. And here comes Chad Fincham. Oh, Fincham up the middle. He hung out Busch. And here comes Alex LeVay now. So Busch loses a few more spots. Annett pushing, or getting pushed rather, by Brandon Brown. Briscoe pulls off the block through the tri-oval. Just 12 laps to go. I mean, Busch finishes the top 10. It's a miracle. And he will take that going into race 2 of the playoffs. He had a decent points cushion. And I think very early in the race, it wasn't looking like he was going to be anywhere close to the top 10. A 2 to 3 car, and there's a caution. So for the 6th time tonight, caution is out. Annette went to make the move on Briscoe. Briscoe was barely in the lead at the time of the yellow, so luckily for Briscoe, the caution came out at the right time. It looks like we're going to have 8 laps to go when we go green after the 6th yellow of the race. Hopefully you guys are hanging in there tight. This could be the final restart of the race. We've seen 2 big ones already tonight. What will happen to the finish here today? Green flag back in the air. Well, Busch got through 1st and 2nd gear all right. Looks like Chad Fincham actually took off on the restart behind Brandon Brown also there. Well, there are a lot of cars on the outside. Busch is going to need a little bit of help. Oh, he's got Fincham right in front of him. Michael Annett still trying to lead the charge on the outside. Gregson now all over the back of Kyle Busch, but he needs to lock bumpers or Busch is going to lose a lot of spots. The outside is more organized than the inside. There's only about 3 cars down on the inside lane. Oh, Busch, a little contact with Alfredo. He tried to side draft him there. Harrison Burton now all of a sudden giving a push to Kyle Busch as they move down to the inside in front of him. Busch now has Noah Gregson in line behind him. Busch hangs on to 10th. Just 7 to go as we get up to speed at Daytona. 7 laps to go. The top 9 have broken away. Well, there's a big checkup on the inside up there. That might slow him down enough. Can Busch get to him? Oh, and Gregson hangs Busch out. Oh, there's contact. Gregson got sideways in the center of the corner, and now Busch finds himself in the middle, and he's losing a lot of spots. And he finally gets back down to the bottom after getting a huge shot from Ryan Sieg. Busch has fallen outside the top 10 for the first time in over 20 laps. But with Busch not leading the pack, the second pack is likely now going to catch the front, so that might have worked out all right for Kyle in the long run, but there's only 6 to go. Kyle can't get hung out to dry anymore. And will they even make it back to the checker? It looks like Brandon Brown has found his way to the lead right now. So a non-playoff driver who started on the pole and has not led a lot of laps tonight finds himself in the lead with just 5 laps to go at Daytona. Can he hold on in front of the pack? Top 5 or 6, single file on the inside. Oh, Busch got loose off of turn 2 that time. Sieg's going to get around him. Push coming from behind there from the 15 to Colby Howard. Sieg could not quite clear Busch. Now he does. Luckily, Busch only lost 1 spot there. Four to go. Every point matters. And that's why you're even seeing jockeying for position back there for about, it looks like the top 6 have pulled away. So pretty much for 7th place, it looks like a couple cars going at it. Harrison Burton, one of those 2 drivers. Brown leads. Oh, he's got a big gap out in front of the cars behind him now. David Starr's jumped up to second place. Another non-playoff driver perhaps looking for an upset. 3 to go. Busch looking to gain a spot on seed here. They're fanning out. Boy, Michael Annette's lost some spots too. And for the second night in a row, it's not going to be Michael Annette's kind of night. As far as having a fast car, but just not maybe getting the finish he deserved to win last night. Tonight got caught up in the second big one. And pretty severe damage. Busch might be able to get back in the top 10. He's up to 12th. He moved up 2 spots that last lap. 15 of Howard working really well with him right now. 2 laps to go at Daytona. And Brandon Brown still leads the field. If we get to the white flag, the next flag ends the race, whether it is the yellow or the checker. Push to the inside of Fincham off of turn 2 now for 11. Oh, they kind of went high, and that's going to kind of break the draft. Oh, Busch is side drafting Fincham. He's trying to stay to his inside. Man, he's trying desperately. Alfredo and the rest of the guys ahead of him now moving to the bottom as the top 5 have broken away. And there's multiple lanes up there. They're getting racy because they're coming to the white flag. Final lap of the race as Busch moves up to 11th in the middle of the pack. See Briscoe stranded on the outside with little to no help. He's faded back to the back half of the top 10 now. Final lap of the race. Can Brandon Brown hold him off for one more lap? I believe that is David Starr in second place, trying to get around him. Doesn't look like any playoff drivers are within vicinity to get the win tonight, but Brandon Brown looking for that victory. It would be his first of the season as Busch is going to try to go for 10th. And miracle run into the top 10. Briscoe on the outside of him here. Off of turn 4, one final time to the checker flag to the inside. One last shot for Starr. Can't get him. Brandon Brown is going to win it at Daytona. Busch with a miracle top 10 run. Finishes by a nose ahead of Briscoe for 10th. Man. What a night. Brandon Brown gets his first career win at Daytona for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. There went Busch there in the replay going end over end early in the race, which was the big one, but we had a couple big ones tonight. 69 minutes total time on the race here today with Brown getting the win. David Starr second, Alex LeMay in third, Mike Harmon fourth, Jeremy Clements fifth, Harrison Burton sixth, Jesse Little in seventh, Justin Haley eighth, ninth was Anthony Alfredo. Kyle Busch rounds out the top 10. Haiti, welcome to the stream also as I see you there. The end of the race. Unbelievable. Crazy. The highest running playoff driver was Alex LeMay, who finished third, by the way. 30 cars finished on the lead lap in the race. 2 drivers failed to finish. Tommy Joe Martins, and we saw in the second half of this one, and unfortunately for Jones, he is in the playoffs and will likely have the biggest deficit going into Kansas in the next race. Allgaier. Not a great run either. He was a lap down, got his lap back late, but still finished back in 28th, unfortunately. So both of those 2 guys are going to be in a little bit of a hole going into race 2 of the playoffs here tonight. .990 fastest lap of the race, ran by Busch. That was likely in the very beginning of the race. Chase Briscoe led the most laps, 46 of the 100 laps led tonight. He dominated for the most part here today, but he finished 11th, did not get the finish he deserved. Colby Howard was on the move. Brandon Jones with the tough break here in this one, so that is going to be it. Yep, so the Cup Series, Cup Series will be next week. The championship race at Darlington. Once we get Xfinity caught up, we'll run the Truck Xfinity Cup back to back for their championship races. So that should be coming up by the end of the week next week by the time we get there. No doubleheader tonight. I will see you guys back on the channel live streaming tomorrow. Hope to see you guys then. And as usual, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content, such as these full race NASCAR Heat live streams. Playoffs have just begun. It has been crazy already, to say the least. But we will likely have more craziness come the next time. So glad everybody was able to make it out here tonight and make it to the finish. Again, it was wild. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your evening. Enjoy.